So I want to come back to my question. Have you considered that the right thing for your company, which is the right people, and all the other companies that propose to do hydraulic fracking, is to leave this territory, leave this province, leave this nation, and never return? Because that is my sincere hope. Okay?
Okay. I think you've taken some pretty long strides to talk about things as being irreversible. Okay? I don't know where you get your information, but that's fine. As I told you, we've been in business since 1929, and much of our activity has been done in the state of Arkansas as well as others. Let me finish. And I can show you areas where there's been intensive development and production of gas and oil. And you can fly an airplane over it, you can take satellite pictures of it, and you can see that the foliage and the people have flourished and done just fine. The exploration and development and production has been over. It went on for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and everything played out, and it returned to normal. Okay? So there's many examples of that throughout the world where that's happened. Nothing that we use, we talk about irreversible damage, nothing that we use in our drilling, completion, and production process is irreversible. There's nothing in those systems that irreversibly damage. Once again, I'll tell you, there's not any examples where frac fluids have found their way into water. It has not happened. In the United States alone, there's been over 1 billion wells fracked since 1950-ish. Not one example of the fear that you're portraying here has actually occurred. Now, I don't understand what you mean by bought science. The people that do this thing, that work for universities, are independent, registered professionals in what area they do: land, legal, accounting, geology, geosciences of all nature, geophysicists, geochemists, and engineers. They're bound by law to do things. You know, what type of independent? Now, you talk about independent, for example, the Duke University people that did their study we were talking about earlier. They don't have a petroleum engineering department. They don't have a petroleum geology department. They just looked at a set of data and came up with a conclusion. One of their conclusions was they didn't find a stitch, not one drop of produced brine or fracture fluid in the water in any of those wells. You know, so people are doing this independently. One of the points I was going to make about the EPA last week, EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson, under oath to Congress, stated that she did not know of, EPA does not know of any case where water has been contaminated by fracture fluids. Now, there's an ongoing study. We'll see what that says. So, I appreciate your concerns, and we take those into consideration. To your last question, have we considered just packing up and leaving? No, sir, we haven't. We have an obligation to the government and the people of this province to complete in this 3-year period, and that we will do. Now, when we get to the end of that, if we find that there is no reason to be here, there doesn't seem to be anything that is technically or economically feasible to develop, then yeah, we'll be gone.
I could respond to every one of your replies in detail, but I'm aware of the clock, and I want to share this time with other people, but I'm not convinced. And I work inside university systems, and the innocence that you ascribe to universities and faculty and professors and scientists does not exist in the university system.
Well, I'm sorry if it doesn't exist here.
Okay, yeah, we have time for a few more questions.